It started like a bad dream, on a quiet night in the small town of West Haven. 80-year-old Ellie went to bed like she always did. Her mother tucked her in, her father kissed her goodnight. The house was peaceful, safe, but by morning, Ellie was gone. No broken windows, no sounds, no signs of struggle. Her bed was untouched. The door was still locked, and the security camera outside. It stopped working at exactly 2:07 a.m. Her parents screamed. The police searched the house. The neighbors helped, but Ellie had vanished, as if she had been taken by thin air. At first, people thought it was just another kidnapping, but it wasn't just Ellie. Across the world in New York, Tokyo, Nairobi, Moscow, and Sydney, children were disappearing. In one night, more than 300 children vanished, all between the ages of 5 and 10. Panic spread. Parents didn't sleep. Governments launched investigations. The media called it the night of the vanishing, but there were no answers, no fingerprints, no footprints, no vehicles, no ransom demands, just silence. Then, something strange happened. Scientists detected a strange signal coming from Earth's orbit. It was a pattern, repeating, constant, like a message, but it was in no known language. The signal pulsed every 11 seconds. At first, people thought it was some kind of glitch, but then a group of astrophysicists from Geneva managed to partially decode the signal. It wasn't from Earth, it was alien. The message said, "The young must be saved. The future must be corrected. You are not worthy." Governments tried to hide it, but the truth leaked online. People went into full panic mode. Aliens had come, not to invade, not to destroy cities, not to take gold or water. They had come for the children. The question was, why? Was it for research, slavery, a new army, or something worse? Nobody knew. The President of the United States made a statement on live television. "We do not negotiate with kidnappers, human or alien. We will find our children and we will bring them home, whatever it takes." At the United Nations, world leaders agreed on one thing. For the first time in history, all of humanity had the same enemy. They called it Operation Guardian. The best minds from every country, scientists, soldiers, engineers, came together. Satellites searched the skies. Submarines scanned the oceans. Hackers looked into every signal coming from space. Then, 5 days after the disappearances, it got worse. Another signal arrived. This time, it was a video. It showed the missing children, alive, floating in strange chambers filled with light. They looked asleep, peaceful, like they were dreaming. A deep, cold, alien voice spoke. "They are safe, safer than they were with you. You fight, you pollute, you destroy, you raise children in pain. We correct your mistake." The message ended. The world went silent. People were heartbroken, angry, scared, and then furious. A mother in India set herself on fire in protest. A father in Brazil stormed into a space agency, begging them to take him to the stars. Millions demanded war. Humanity was no longer afraid. It was angry. And when humanity is angry, it is unstoppable. A secret base was built in Antarctica. There, a group of scientists unveiled something the world had never seen before. A working FTL drive, faster than light travel. For years, governments had kept this tech hidden, but now they had no choice. It was time to fight back. A single ship was chosen to carry Earth's first interstellar mission. Its name was simple, powerful, and full of meaning. The vengeance inside, The crew was made of Earth's best, from every nation, every language, every skill, soldiers, pilots, scientists, even a few parents, whose children had been taken. Their mission was clear: find the aliens, rescue the children, make them pay. The ship launched under the eyes of billions. The world held its breath as the Vengeance left Earth's orbit. One message was broadcast in every language to every corner of the galaxy. You took our children, you took our future now. We are coming for you. The Vengeance flew through the black ocean of space, faster than any human ship had ever gone before. Inside, the crew sat in silence, focused, angry, ready. Captain Elena Torres stood in the command deck. She was a mother. Her son, Leo, had been taken. She had no time for fear, only a mission. We find them, we bring our children home, and if they stand in our way, we burn their sky, she said. The crew nodded. This was not a rescue. This was war. 4 days into the mission, something strange happened. Lieutenant Arjun, the ship's communications expert, picked up a signal. It wasn't like the first one. This time, it was clear. Calm, cold, turn back. You are not ready. You are still violent. You are still broken. Elena stared at the screen. Who are you? She demanded. The reply came almost instantly. We are the preservers. We remove what must not continue. The crew listened in silence. Some clenched their fists. Others stared at the image now on the screen. It was not a face, not even a creature, just a shining symbol, a spiral of stars. Arjun whispered, "This species doesn't want to conquer. They want to correct us." Elena snapped. Who gave them the right? Suddenly, the ship's lights flickered. An energy wave hit the Vengeance. For 10 seconds, all systems went dark. Then, the stars returned. The crew looked around. No one was hurt. But something had changed. In the medical bay. All clocks had stopped at the same second. 2:07 a.m., the same time the children disappeared. They're watching us, Arjun said. Every move. Elena didn't flinch. Good, let them watch. Let them see what humans do when someone takes what we love. 2 days later, the ship reached a strange region of space. No stars. No planets. Just blackness. And then a door appeared. Not a real door. A hole in space. A portal. Through it, sensors detected a massive structure. A giant station the size of a moon. Hiding behind folded space. The preservers were waiting. As the Vengeance entered the portal, a message was broadcast inside the ship. It wasn't audio. It was inside their minds. Each person heard the voice in their own language. Welcome, broken ones. You come for your young, but you still carry war. In your hearts, we gave your children peace. No hunger, no pain, no violence. Captain Elena's voice cut through the silence. You took them without asking. That's not peace. That's slavery. The reply came cold. Your kind destroys itself. We only removed what you don't deserve. The crew was silent. Then Elena stood tall and said one sentence that would be remembered across history. You made one mistake. You thought we wouldn't come. As the Vengeance moved closer to the alien station, hundreds of small ships surrounded it. They looked like silver wings, silent, fast, beautiful, and deadly. But humanity had prepared for this. From under the Vengeance's hull, dozens of drones launched. Built by Earth's top engineers, they used alien tech stolen from previous encounters. Battle was coming. No one fires unless I say so, Elena ordered. We're here to talk, but we're ready to fight. A small platform extended from the alien station. The crew sent an away team, Elena, Arjun, and a soldier named Briggs, whose daughter was among the missing. They stepped onto the alien platform. No gravity, no air, but their suits held. Then, the preserver arrived. It wasn't what they expected. Not tall, not terrifying. It looked like a child, glowing white, floating, no eyes, no mouth. But its voice echoed in their minds. We were like you, once, long ago, until we destroyed our own world. We do this to protect yours. Then teach us, Elena said. Help us. Don't steal from us. The being paused. You will not change. You have never changed. War is in your bones. Briggs stepped forward. That's where you're wrong. War is in our past. But so is love, sacrifice, hope. You don't know us at all. The being looked at them, emotionless. Then show us. Prove your worth. The platform vanished. The humans were teleported back to their ship. On their screen, a new map appeared. A planet, far away, marked in red. A test. Go there, the message said. Save them, or fail. If you fail, your children remain with us, forever. The Vengeance turned toward the new target. They didn't know what was waiting. A trap, a puzzle, a war zone. But they didn't care, because humans don't stop, especially when their children are on the line. The Vengeance changed course. The alien map showed one planet, deep in unknown space, marked in red. A test, they said. But to Captain Elena Torres and her crew, this was more than a test. It was a trap. Still, they went. They had no choice if they wanted their children back. They had to play the Preserver's game. The planet had no name. It was silent, cold, covered in thick grey fog. No cities, no life, no heat. But as the Vengeance got closer, its scanners picked up something strange. Underground tunnels, deep, long, artificial dot and heat, small pockets of it, like something or someone was alive down there. If they're keeping human kids on this planet, Briggs growled, I'll burn it to the core. Elena looked at the screen. We go in, quiet. If it's a rescue, we save them. If it's bait, we bite back harder. She turned to the team. Suit up, Elena. Briggs, Arjun, and 2 others landed near a cave entrance. The air was heavy. It smelled like dust and metal. The ground crunched under their boots like bones. As they moved into the tunnels, lights flickered on by themselves. Soft white, almost peaceful. They want us to feel safe, Arjun whispered. Briggs replied, It's working. I'm totally relaxed, and cocked his rifle. The tunnel led them into a chamber, and what they saw stopped them cold. Hundreds of small beds, and in each one, a child, sleeping, breathing, alive. The crew froze. Elena's eyes widened. That's Ellie. She ran to the nearest bed. It was her son, Leo, alive, pale, eyes closed, but he looked. Healthy machines were connected to the children. Glowing blue tubes, symbols they couldn't read. A hologram appeared. The Preserver, you reached them. You passed the first step. Let them go, Elena said firmly. They cannot wake yet. They are being corrected. Briggs shouted, They don't need correction. They need their parents. The alien voice was calm. Their minds are at peace. We removed their fear, their anger, their hate. They will grow better this way. Arjun stepped forward. That's not your decision. You don't get to play God. The preserver paused, then said, then show us you are more than war. Suddenly, the lights turned red, sirens echoed. In the tunnels, the ground shook. What now? Briggs yelled. The preserver's voice was now rushed. They followed you, the others. They do not agree with peace. They feed on war. A new threat had arrived. The tunnel wall exploded. Creatures poured in dark, fast, clawed beasts with glowing eyes. Not machines, not aliens, monsters, defensive. Line, now. Elena ordered. The team formed a wall in front of the children. Gunfire lit the chamber. Explosions shook the walls. Briggs was hit in the shoulder, but kept firing. Arjun activated drone shields. Elena threw flash bombs, blinding the attackers. But they kept coming. They're not here for us, Arjun yelled. They're here for the kids. Elena's heart dropped. These weren't just monsters. They were cleaners, erasers, sent to wipe out the test and humanity. She screamed into her comms. Vengeance, this is ground team. Evac needed, now. Copy, came the reply. ETA, 90 seconds. They had to hold .90 seconds, felt like forever. One beast jumped over the shields, right toward Leo's bed. Elena moved like lightning. She tackled it mid-air, pulling her blade from her belt. You don't touch my son. She drove the blade. Through its skull, it let out a screech and collapsed. But more kept coming. We're running out of ammo. Briggs shouted then. Silence, just before they were overrun. A new sound filled the tunnel. A loud hum, bright white energy burst through the walls, vaporizing the monsters. The preserver floated above them, glowing brighter than before. You protected them, it said, even without weapons, even without hope. You chose to stand and fight. The creatures vanished. The red lights faded. The others are gone, for now. Elena collapsed to her knees beside her son. Let us take them home, she whispered. The preserver floated down. One more step remains, one final test, and then they are yours. You keep testing us, Briggs said, shaking. We've already proven everything. The alien voice paused. You have proven one thing. You are willing to sacrifice. That is strength. The children's eyes opened, slowly, confused, afraid. Elena hugged Leo tightly. He looked around. Mum, where are we? She smiled through tears. We're going home, baby. I promise. Back on the Vengeance, the crew watched as the children were safely brought on board. But the screen showed a new message. Another planet, another red mark. The final test, the Vengeance, was quiet. Too quiet. Dozens of rescued children were now resting safely in the ship's medical wing. Machines monitored their vitals. Nurses and doctors worked around the clock. Parents sat nearby, some crying, others still in shock. Captain Elena Torres stood by the window of the command deck. Staring into the blackness of space, the alien map still glowed on the screen. One red marker blinked slowly on a planet called Durox 9. The preservers had said this would be the final step, but no one trusted them anymore. Elena's jaw clenched. First they judge us, then they test us. Now they want us to walk into another unknown. Arjun replied from the console. They said if we pass this, they'll return the rest of the children. All of them. Briggs checked his gear. Then we pass, or we make them regret ever touching Earth. The crew agreed. This wasn't just a mission anymore. This was a message to the galaxy. Humanity doesn't beg. Humanity doesn't forget. Humanity fights back. Durox 9 was dead. No plants, no animals, no cities, only one massive black tower rising from the middle of a cracked desert. The tower was tall, so tall it touched the clouds. As the Vengeance approached, something unexpected happened. A second signal was detected, but it didn't come from the tower. It came from below, from the planet's core. Arjun frowned. It's a message, but it's not from the preservers. Play it, Elena ordered. A deep voice filled the room. Cold, angry, alien. You are not welcome here. Turn back, humans. This is your only warning. The crew looked at each other. This wasn't the preservers. This was someone else. Looks like we've found the real enemy, Briggs muttered. The team landed near the tower. The ground was covered in ash, no wind, no sound, only a strange pressure, like something watching from deep underground. As they entered the tower, the walls began to move. Symbols glowed red. Machines rose from the floor, and in the center of the tower stood a figure, humanoid, tall, wearing armor made of black stone. Its eyes burned white, no mouth, no nose, just pure presence. We are the architects, the voice echoed. We created the preservers. We control the tests. Why, Elena demanded, why take our children? To stop your kind, to prevent your rise. You are not worthy of the stars. You're afraid of us, Arjun said. We are not afraid. We are wise. We've seen what your kind does. Planets destroyed. Wars without end. The being stepped closer. You do not belong in the galaxy. Elena raised her weapon. Then why test us at all? The architect paused. Some preservers disagreed. They believe you can change. We let them run their little game, but it ends here. So this was never a final step, Briggs said. It was a trap. The tower shook. Walls split open. Machines unfolded from the floor. Weapons, drones, war machines. If you leave now, we will erase your memory. We will return the children. You will never speak of this again. Elena looked at her team. Then she stepped forward. We are not leaving. Then you die. The floor dropped. The team fell into a deep chamber beneath the tower. Lights exploded on. They were inside a war factory. Giant machines were building weapons, not for defense, for extermination, not just human weapons. Weapons made to destroy Earth. They're planning to wipe us out, Arjun shouted. Briggs smashed one of the machines with a plasma grenade. Not if we blow this place sky high. Elena scanned the chamber. There in the center was a glowing core. The energy source for the tower. Maybe even the entire planet. We overload it. We end this, she said. They fought through. Waves of machines. Briggs was hit in the leg, but kept going. Arjun hacked into the systems. Elena placed the charges. Sirens blared. Walls closed in, but they didn't stop, because they were human, and humans don't run from a fight. Back on the Vengeance. The crew watched the tower crack open. Flames erupted from the desert. The signal from Durox 9 was gone forever. The mission. Team returned with burns, cuts, and broken armor. But they were alive, and they had done it. A transmission came in. This time from the preservers. You have faced your enemy. You have passed the final step. We've had enough of your tests, Elena said. Keep your judgments to yourself. Return our children. The preserver's voice was quiet. They are already on their way. Outside the ship, small silver pods appeared, each carrying one child, floating through space toward the Vengeance. Cheers erupted on the ship. Fathers cried, mothers fell to their knees, brothers and sisters hugged tighter than ever before. Elena hugged Leo. His small voice asked, "Did we win, Mum?" She smiled through tears. "We did, baby, and we always will." But far away, deep in the galaxy, a new light awakened. The destruction of the architects had sent a signal, and something, heard it. Humanity had made a new enemy, and it was coming. 3 weeks had passed since the fall of the architects on Durox-9. The children were safe. The mission was over. Or so they thought. Captain Elena Torres stood on the command deck of the Vengeance, watching Earth grow larger in the distance. Families were waiting. Celebrations were planned, but her mind was heavy. Something didn't feel right. She had seen too much. The architects weren't just gatekeepers. They were part of something bigger, something ancient, something watching deep. In uncharted space, far beyond human reach, a dark signal spread through the void. It moved like a pulse, bouncing from dead stars, passing through black holes, echoing across the galaxy. In a forgotten system, a massive ship came to life. It wasn't built. It was grown, black, twisted, alive. Inside it, something opened its eyes for the first time in 1,000 years. The signal had awakened it. The architects were gone now. It was its turn. Back on Earth, the return of the children was a global event. The footage of parents reuniting with their sons and daughters was broadcast everywhere. Crowds cheered. Fireworks lit up the skies. But high above Earth, in the orbital command station Aegis 1, General Marco Red paced nervously. The preservers had disappeared without a trace. No signal, no message, just silence. "I don't like it," he told Elena. "Via comes. We didn't win. We were allowed to win." "I feel the same," she replied. "We hurt someone powerful. That usually comes with consequences." She was right, because at that moment, every satellite around Earth went dark. Then a shadow appeared near Jupiter, a ship bigger than any human city, covered in moving armor, like metal skin alive with electricity. It didn't send a message. It fired. A blast of blue energy hit Europa Station, destroying it instantly. No warning, no survivors. Then another beam hit Titan Base. Gone. The war had begun. Earth's emergency systems lit up. Sirens wailed. Military channels went live. The enemy didn't speak. It just advanced, and Earth wasn't ready. Inside the Vengeance, Elena turned to her crew. "This is not a mission anymore. This is survival." Briggs slammed a fresh power cell into his rifle. "They hit us first. Now it's our turn." "Where do we strike?" Arjun asked. Elena opened the new transmission from Aegis 1. It contained an intercepted signal from the alien ship. A weak translation was attached. "Life grows too fast. Cut the roots before they spread." Briggs grunted. "We're weeds to them." "No," Elena said, her voice steady. "We're the storm they never saw coming." A counterattack plan was launched. The Vengeance would lead a small fleet, 2 cruisers for fighters, and a stealth drone carrier. Their mission: infiltrate the alien ship, disable its power core, and stop the attack on Earth. But there was a catch. The alien ship was alive. It responded to movement, sound, heat. Getting close wouldn't be easy. Getting inside would be near impossible. As the fleet approached Jupiter, the alien ship turned Slowly, like it was listening, Elena gave the order. Stealth mode. No weapons, no light, no comms. The fighters split off. The drone carrier launched a wave of signal jammers, and Vengeance moved directly toward the giant ship's underbelly. It looked like a wound, a scar in the armor. Barely open, their one chance. Inside the alien ship, the halls pulsed like veins. The air was hot and thick. Lights flickered like nervous systems. It was not a ship. It was a creature. Elena Briggs, Arjun, and a 6-person team moved carefully through the twisting corridors. Suddenly, a whisper echoed around them. No words, just emotion, hate, disgust, anger. "It knows we're here," Arjun whispered. "Then we hit fast," Elena said. "Find the core, shut it down." Back on Earth, people watched helplessly as the alien ship moved closer to orbit. One more blast, and it would hit a major city. Everyone held their breath. Then suddenly, boom! From inside the alien ship, explosions lit up its outer shell. The Vengeance's team had reached the power nexus, a glowing structure like a heart made of crystal and bone. Arjun worked fast, bypassing the alien tech. "It's like it's resisting me. It's alive, so kill it," Briggs growled. They planted the charges, but before they could leave, a creature dropped from the ceiling, tall, spider-like, made of sharp metal and screaming rage. It stabbed Briggs in the chest. He fell to his knees, coughing blood. "Go," he shouted. "End it." Elena hesitated. "Briggs, go." She turned, dragging Arjun out. The charges ticked down .1098. From Earth, a blinding light burst through. The clouds, the alien ship began to split apart, piece by piece, like cracking glass. And then, silence. The giant ship collapsed into Jupiter's gravity, burning as it fell into the gas giant's endless storm. Humanity had struck back, but not without loss. Briggs was gone, a hero. One of many, Elena, stood in front of his name, now carved on. The wall of the fallen, inside Aegis 1. "He bought us time," she whispered, "and we'll use it well." But deep in space, signals echoed once more. This war was not over, because the galaxy had just learned one terrible truth. Humans don't forgive. Humans don't forget. And when you strike first, humans strike harder. 3 days after the alien ship fell into Jupiter's atmosphere, Earth was still in shock. People celebrated in the streets. News channels ran stories of victory. Children drew pictures of the Vengeance with flames behind it and heroes on the deck. But inside military command, no one smiled. Captain Elena Torres stood before the United Earth Council, her face bruised, her voice steady. "We won a battle, not the war. Something bigger is out there. We've woken it up." The council members looked at each other. One of them leaned forward. "What proof do you have?" Elena tapped her communicator. A hologram appeared, data pulled from the alien ship before it was destroyed. Thousands of star systems, coordinates, and one repeating word in alien script. Arjun translated quietly, "Judgment." The enemy wasn't finished. They had only just begun. Meanwhile, far across the galaxy, a planet burned. Ash rained from the sky. Cities, once tall and beautiful, lay broken. Alien corpses lined the streets. They weren't humans. They were preservers, the same species who had taken human children and later returned them. But these ones were dead, killed by a different kind of enemy, one built for war, silent, merciless, standing in the ruins. A single preserver remained, wounded, alone, watching the sky, waiting back on Earth. Sensors picked up a faint signal. It came from the outer rim of the solar system, near the remains of the first alien ship. The signal was weak, distorted, but it wasn't a threat. It was a distress call. Elena stood on the Vengeance's bridge, arms crossed. They're asking for help. After everything. Arjun checked the translation. It's not a trap. It's real. One survivor. Preserver. Origin. Injured. Scared. Briggs was gone. The crew was tired. Humanity had every reason to turn away. But Elena made a choice. Set course. Prepare for rescue. They found the preserver inside a damaged escape pod, floating among debris. Its body was cracked. Glowing fluid leaked from its arms. But it was alive. They brought it aboard. It didn't resist. Its voice came slowly, broken. You must listen. We made a mistake. We tried to control you, because we feared what would come after you, after us. Elena asked, What do you mean? The architects were just the beginning. There is something worse. Something. We tried to stop, but it was already awake. Hiding in the dark, feeding on war, it is called. The preserver paused. The hollow. That name stayed in Elena's mind long after the preserver fell unconscious. The hollow, a name that felt like a wound. Later, in the medbay, the preserver explained more. Its people hadn't kidnapped human children just for peace. They did it too. Protect them, to hide them from the hollow. A force older than the galaxy. A hunger without form. Not machines, not life. Something in between. A mind that used other species like tools. It had taken over the architects long ago. Now it was spreading again, and it had noticed Earth when you destroyed their ship. The preserver said, You made yourselves visible. Now it is coming, for all of us. The Earth Council was divided. Some wanted to destroy the preserver. Others wanted to use its knowledge. Elena made her choice clear. We need allies. We need to know what's out there, or Earth will be next. So the preserver stayed aboard the Vengeance, watched carefully, but alive, together. They began decoding the coordinates left in the alien ship's data. It pointed to one place, the drift, a dead zone in space where no signal returns, no light escapes, no ship has ever come back. If the hollow existed, it would be there, on the journey to the drift. Something changed. The preserver began to speak more like a person. It asked about Earth, about children, about music, about why humans cried when they were happy. Elena asked it something simple. Do you still think we're broken? It was quiet for a long time. Then it answered, Maybe, but you are not hollow. And that, it said, is why you may be the only ones who can stop what's coming. The Vengeance arrived at the edge of the drift. Space was wrong here. Colors didn't behave. Light bent the wrong way. The stars disappeared then. A signal, a whisper in a voice that felt like it knew your thoughts. So loud, little humans, so bright, so full. Let us make you quiet. The hollow had seen them. The ship's lights dimmed. Systems failed. The crew clutched their heads, screaming. Visions flashed, Earth burning, children screaming, planets turning to dust. But Elena fought it. She stood at the helm, heart pounding, hands shaking. You want us afraid. You'll be disappointed. The preserver touched the console beside her. You are the only species that faces the dark, and runs into it. Together, they activated the backup shields. The Hollow recoiled. The ship escaped. But just barely. The war wasn't coming. It was already here. The Hollow was real. The Vengeance had seen it. A voice with no face. A presence without form, hiding in the drift. And now, it was awake. Back on Earth, the skies remained peaceful. Children played in parks. News spoke of victory, unity, peace. But, in the darkness between stars, something was coming. A wave, a silence, a hunger. Elena Torres stood on the deck of the Vengeance, staring at the holographic map. Systems had already gone dark, 5 of them in the last 2 days. No distress calls, no survivors, just ... emptiness. The Hollow was spreading, and Earth was next. We have no time, Elena said. No second chances. Then we strike first, Arjun replied. We don't even know if it has a body, one officer said. Everything has a weakness, Elena said. Even the void, humanity, had changed in months. Global powers set aside politics and pride. Factories were repurposed. Satellites turned to weapons. Old enemies became allies. Even the preservers, what few remained, offered their technology together. They built the Armada, Earth's first unified space fleet. Hundreds of ships, thousands of drones. One purpose: stop the Hollow, or die trying. The fleet moved toward the drift, now a swirling cloud of darkness, stretching across dozens of light-years. At the edge, instruments failed, gravity twisted, dreams turned to nightmares. The Hollow didn't just destroy planets, it erased hope. Ships that got too close turned cold. Crews heard whispers, some went mad, but the Vengeance held firm at the front. Elena stared into the black fog. You stole our children. You sent monsters. You thought fear would break us. She turned to her fleet. But you forgot one thing. We're human, and we don't surrender. Inside the drift, the fleet entered the storm. They saw things no one could explain: broken moons, burning oceans, ships frozen mid-explosion. Then the enemy appeared. Not ships, not creatures, forms made of shadow and fire, twisting, growing, crawling over the hulls like insects. They didn't fight with weapons, they fought with fear. Crews heard voices in their heads. Your children are still screaming. You will fail. You always fail. But Earth's fleet had prepared. Each ship had neural blockers, noise dampeners, emotion filters, everything to stop the Hollow's tricks. And they had one more weapon: Briggs's protocol, before he died. Briggs had developed a combat AI designed to fight without fear, without hesitation. Now it powered the entire fleet's defense systems. Deploy the Briggs net, Elena ordered. Across the fleet, shields turned blue. Drones launched in swarms. Every attack from the Hollow's forces was met with perfect counterfire. The Armada pushed deeper, and then they saw it. The core of the Hollow, it wasn't a planet. It wasn't a ship. It was a black star, spinning slowly, surrounded by broken cities, dead ships, and frozen species. All that it had consumed, it pulsed with rage. We end it now, Elena said. The plan was simple and suicidal. The preservers had provided a gravity bomb, a device that could collapse even a star, but it had to be placed at the core, by hand. The Vengeance would go in alone. Every other ship would draw the Hollow's forces away. You don't have to do this, Arjun said. Elena smiled. It took my son. It took our peace. It won't take our future. The Vengeance flew into the black star's orbit. Waves of energy tried to tear it apart, but it held inside. The shadows attacked. The ship shook. Crew members fell. Systems failed. But Elena reached the drop point. She carried the bomb herself. One. Last time, she placed it at the edge of the singularity, where time slowed and space screamed. A voice whispered in her mind, "You could join us. You could be free." She replied with one word, "No." Then she hit the trigger. From outside the drift, the fleet saw it. A blinding blue light, stretching across the stars. The hollow's core collapsed, pulling its nightmares. With it, ships fled the collapsing storm. One by one, the enemy vanished. And then, silence, real silence. The kind that meant peace. Earth had survived. The fleet returned home. Crowds cheered. Bells rang. Names were carved into stone. At the top of the list, Captain Elena Torres, a hero. A mother. A soldier who looked into the heart of darkness and struck first. Leo Torres sat in his classroom, looking up at the stars through the school dome. His teacher pointed at a new constellation named Vengeance's Light. "That star," she said, "reminds us of what humans are made of. Not just bone and blood, but courage." Leo smiled. He already knew that, because he remembered her voice and her promise. "We're going home, baby." I promise. She had kept it. For him, for everyone.